Welcome back to Only Talk Sports. So we talk sports every single day, or at least we try to. I'm Ernest Jeffrey. Subscribe to the channel if you like sports content. Hit that notification bell so you never miss our video. Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and I hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving week. Eat a bunch of turkey and stuffing and whatever other fixings you're going to have for Thanksgiving, and have a great time with family and friends. But while we enjoy all of that, we got some football that we're going to be watching on Thanksgiving and also on Sunday and Monday as well. Going to be a lot of great games, but I'm going to go over every single Week 13 NFL game and see which teams I think will win or lose this week. Last week, there were only 13 NFL games, and I went 10-3 on my predictions, and overall, I'm at 122-57, but we got 16 games this week, and there's a lot of big matchups, so it's going to definitely be tough to predict. But starting out on Thursday afternoon on Thanksgiving, we got the Chicago Bears traveling to the Detroit Lions. Now, the Chicago Bears are 4-7 so far this season, and the Lions are 10-1. So this is a big mismatch. Could the Lions lose? Could the Thanksgiving jitters get to them? You never know. We saw it last year with the Kansas City Chiefs losing to the Las Vegas Raiders as heavy favorites on Thanksgiving. So sometimes a heavily favored team can lose on a holiday if they're not focused, but the Lions just seem so focused this year. Dan Campbell's got them rolling. Give me the Lions to beat the Bears 28-14 on Thanksgiving. I think the Lions should take care of business. Then you got the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. Man, Dallas has fallen hard this season. They're 4-7, not having a good year at all. Dak is done for the season. Cooper Rush did lead the Cowboys to victory this past week, but their NFL playoff chances are basically done unless they win out. But they are favored to beat the Giants. The Giants are pretty awful. Daniel Jones has been released after giving him a big contract extension. That's a whole mess for the Giants. I think the Cowboys will beat the Giants 21-17, but this is going to be a pretty close game in my opinion. Then on Thanksgiving night, after everybody has eaten their turkey or ham, you got the Miami Dolphins traveling to the Green Bay Packers. The Packers are 8-3, and the Dolphins are 5-6, and they're getting their season turned around now that Tua is back. They're playing better football, so I think this is going to be a close game, but Green Bay has been playing very well. Jordan Love is playing great football, and I think that the Packers are already a pretty tough team as is, but they're also at home with that raucous home crowd. It's going to be tough for Miami to win in that environment. Give me the Packers to beat the Dolphins 24-21. Then on Friday, you do have a Black Friday game between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. The Raiders did beat the Chiefs before on a holiday game last year, so it is possible for the Raiders to upset the Chiefs again. And the Chiefs barely beat the Panthers last week, so the Chiefs could be reeling a little bit still after their first loss of the year they suffered 2 weeks ago. But I do think Kansas City will beat the Raiders 28-10. The Raiders are a much worse team this year than they were last year. I think the Chiefs should be fine. Then you got the Los Angeles Chargers and the Atlanta Falcons to start out the Sunday games. The Chargers are coming off a tough loss last week to the Ravens. They are now 7-4 on the year. The Falcons are 6-5, but Atlanta's starting to play worse football. I know they're at home, but I really like the way the Chargers are playing. Justin Herbert seems to be in his zone right now. Give me the Chargers to beat the Falcons 24-20. And you got the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are 4-7. This is just a wasted year for Joe Burrow. He's playing great football. He's putting up great stats. Probably could be almost an MVP-like year if his team was actually good, but the Cincinnati Bengals are really struggling this year. Pittsburgh, though, they're 8-3, but they just lost last week to the Browns, so they're giving off mixed signals. I think Pittsburgh's a solid team, but kind of like the Vikings, they have a great record, but they've been really getting by against a lot of poor teams. Are they a good team? I don't know. I think they're solid enough, but I don't think they're among the best teams in the NFL. I still think they'll win this game 21-20 over the Bengals just because of how bad the Bengals have played this year, but it's going to be a close game. Then you got the Arizona Cardinals traveling to the Minnesota Vikings, and like Pittsburgh, Minnesota is 9-2 on the year, having a great season, but they have struggled against a lot of poor opponents, so it kind of begs the question, are they a great team? I think Minnesota is better than Pittsburgh. Sam Darnold's played well. They are at home, so give me the Vikings to beat the Cardinals 24-21. Arizona has had some good games, but they still are basically an average team overall. I don't think they'll get this win. Then you got the Colts traveling to the Patriots. The Colts are 5-6. The Patriots are 3-9. Indianapolis, when they're playing well, isn't terrible, but the Patriots on their own field can be feisty at times, but they're just not a great team overall. I do think the Colts will win 20-17, but it should be a low-scoring affair. Then you got the Seattle Seahawks traveling to the New York Jets. The Jets are a terrible team. They're 3-8 on the season. Aaron Rodgers has had no success. Seattle's 6-5. Got a big win last week. They're playing better football. Geno Smith has been inconsistent, though. They still have a very talented offense. They do a lot worse when they're on the road, though. They're a better home team, but I still think Seattle will win this game 24-14. The Jets shouldn't pose too much of a threat. Then you got the Titans traveling to the Commanders, and if you had to ask me about this game 3 weeks ago, easily would have said the Commanders, but now Washington's in a free fall. They've lost their last 3 games. Are they starting to show some cracks? Jayden Daniels has had a great rookie year. No one's saying anything against that, but still, Washington is starting to showcase that maybe they are not a great team and they still have a lot of building to do. And Tennessee just got an upset win last week. I think that Will Levis and Nick Westbrook-Akine have something special going on, but other than that, the Titans are still just kind of a bad team. I think Washington will win 21-17, but this is a game that Washington suddenly has to win, or they could be in jeopardy of missing the playoffs. Then you got the Texans traveling to the Jaguars. This is another game kind of with the Commanders. The Texans cannot lose this game. If they lose to the Jaguars, it's going to really hurt their playoff chances. But Houston has been struggling a bit lately. C.J. Stroud is still very talented. I still think that he is a great quarterback and going to continue to improve. And the Jaguars have been a big mess. I think the Texans will win 21-14. They should win, but they cannot overlook the Jags. Then you have the Rams going to the Saints. The Saints are 4-7 on the year, have had a bad season after starting out 2-0. The Rams are 5-6, and they're just all over the place. One week they look very competent. Next week they play terrible. They need this win for their playoff chances. Matthew Stafford has been fighting hard at this stage of his career at 36 years old. Still a pretty solid quarterback. Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua are very talented. I think the Rams will win 21-20, but it's going to be a dogfight. Then you got the Bucs traveling to the Panthers in this NFC South showdown. The Bucs are 5-6. Panthers are 3-8. Funny thing about the Panthers, Bryce Young finally had a great game with the Panthers, and they almost beat the Chiefs last week. They lost by 3 on a game-winning field goal by the Chiefs. If the Panthers had a play like that all year long, they'd have a much better record, but they're very inconsistent, so I still can't trust them to win this game. If they play like they did last week, they will win, but the Bucs are still the better team overall. They've had a lot of ups and downs, but I do think the Bucs will win 20-17, but the Panthers will show some life in this game. Then you got the Philadelphia Eagles traveling to the Baltimore Ravens, and the game of the week in the NFL. You've got the Eagles at 9-2, the Ravens at 8-4. Baltimore really actually needed to beat the Chargers on Monday Night Football, and they did. If they lost that game, they would have had a 7-5 record despite having one of the best teams in the NFL. They've had a tough schedule, though, but still, I think they'd have been fine for the playoffs, but you just can't start flirting around 500. So the Ravens are still fine in that regard. They're at home in this one. The Eagles are a great team. They're playing fantastic football. I still worry, though, if they're going to start sliding toward the end of the season. I don't know, though, man. Saquon Barkley's playing great as long as he stays healthy. Jalen Hurts as long as he stays healthy. Love the way their team's playing, but they're going on the road. I can't pick against the Ravens at home. I know they have lost a couple home games this year, but I still think the Ravens will win. Give me the Baltimore Ravens 28-24 over the Eagles in a classic. Then on Sunday Night Football, you got the San Francisco 49ers traveling to the Buffalo Bills. Probably coming into this season, everybody would have thought this would have been a marquee game, but unfortunately, the 49ers have had so many injuries. Brock Purdy's now out. Whether he plays or not in this game, the 49ers are a mess. They're under 500. The Bills are playing like one of the best teams in the NFL, and even though sometimes they do choke in big games, I just think San Francisco's too banged up to win. Give me the Bills to beat the 49ers 28-17. Then on Monday Night Football, you got the Cleveland Browns and the Denver Broncos. Not the most marquee game for a Monday Night Football game, but still, the Broncos have been playing much better, and the Browns did get a win last week. I like the way Bo Nix is playing. He's kind of been like Jayden Daniels, one of the better rookies in the NFL so far this season. Probably done a lot better than anyone was really expecting from him. Sean Payton is the head coach, so a lot of people are, giving that as a big reason for why they are winning. The Browns, to me, are still too much of a mess. They do have a quarterback change with Jameis Winston now instead of Deshaun Watson, which has helped the offense a bit, but they are going on the road. Give me the Broncos to beat the Browns 24-14 for the Broncos to have a pretty solid chance to make the NFL playoffs if they keep winning. Those are my Week 13 predictions for all of these NFL games. It's going to be a great week, especially love that Eagles-Baltimore matchup. Love the Thanksgiving games as well. Hope everybody enjoys their Thanksgiving dinner. especially with family and friends. Hope everybody enjoys the football games this week. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below about all of these NFL games and which teams you think will win or lose, and whether you agree or disagree with my picks. Subscribe to the channel if you like sports content. Like this video down below. Follow me on Twitter as well. Link is in the description, and I'll see you next time.